All right, thanks, guys. The Lakers take on the Hawks. That's going to be a 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Atlanta. The Lakers open the betting as the 5.5-point favorite. They're now -5. Totals at 236. 53% of the consensus is leaning toward Los Angeles. 54% is shaded toward the under. And at the moment, Atlanta's plus 170 for some money line cash. Now the Hawks have failed to cover in their last three straight. They're just 2-5 against the spread in their last seven. The Hawks rank dead last in the NBA in points allowed. They also rank 28th in defensive field goal percentage. Now the Lakers on their side of things, they rank 4th in offensive rebounding. They also rank 7th in defensive field goal percentage on the road. When it comes to the scoring in this matchup here, the Lakers are 6-1 to the under in their games at the current posted total. They're also 63% to the under, taking on teams allowing more than 102 points per contest. Give me the Lakers -5 in the under 236 in that matchup there. All right, folks, just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's NBA, college, and NHL action. But before we go ahead and move on with that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. With a documented record of 10-2 in my last handful of NBA plays on that website, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, so please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Celtics at the Sixers, 8 o'clock tip-off in South Philly. The Sixers open -5, up to -5.5, totals at 226. And at the moment, the Celtics are plus 190 for some money line cash. Now, Kyrie's out for the Celtics. Also, Aaron Baines is out. Boston also boasts a record of just 9-17 against the spread when traveling. Now, the Sixers, on their side of things, they rank second in home scoring. They also rank third in home offensive rebounding. When it comes to the total, Philadelphia is 5-1 to the under in their last six. I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it back down to that original opening number, and take the Sixers -5 and the under 226 in that matchup there. Next game, Spurs, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock tip-off in Memphis. San Antonio's -4, total open 208 up to 209. Now, Rudy Gay is questionable for San Antonio. They've also failed to cover in their last 7 straight. 0-7 against the number in their last 7 ball games. Meanwhile, on the Memphis side of things, they've been banged up. They haven't been playing all that great of basketball, but they are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 ball games. And Valanciunas is expected to play tonight for the Grizz. So once again, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8, with Valanciunas expected to play in tonight's matchup. Memphis ranks second in home points allowed in the NBA. They also rank 4th in defensive field goal percentage. Now, scoring-wise, San Antonio is 9-1 to the over in their last 10. A lot of overs for this Spurs team. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Memphis +4 and the over 209 in that matchup there. Next game, Magic, Pelicans, 8 o'clock tip-off in New Orleans. The Pels are -4.5, totals 225 and a hook. Orlando's plus 160 on the money line. The Pelicans are 6-3 against the spread in their last 9. They're also 16-10 straight up on their home court. The Pelicans rank 4th in scoring in the NBA. They also rank 5th in field goal percentage and 5th in offensive rebounding. Now, Orlando's just 10-17 straight up on the road. They also rank 27th in road points allowed. And when it comes to the total, Orlando's just 37% of the over following a day off. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, take the New Orleans Pelicans -4 and the under 225.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for our NBA slate. It is going to be Jazz at the Warriors, 10:30 tip-off at Golden State. The Warriors are -8.5, total open 228 up to 229. 63% are leaning Golden State, 61% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Jazz are plus 320 on the money line. Now, the Jazz are 2-0 against the spread, taking on Golden State this year. They rank second in road defensive rebounding. Meanwhile, the Warriors, on their side of things, failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. They also rank 23rd in the NBA in defending the 3 ball at home. Now, when it comes to the scoring, Golden State's just 33% of the over in their games at the current posted total. Utah 21st in road scoring. Give me the Jazz +9 after buying the half a point and the under 229 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball. And our first game is going to be Boilermakers at the Terrapins, 6:30 tip-off at Maryland. Purdue opened the betting as the 1-point favorite, and the total at 145.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a slight fade of Purdue when it comes to the spread. That one actually moved down to a pick'em contest, and we're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. So right now, with Purdue's a pick, total's at 141. So with all that in mind, recapping the line movement, the Boilermakers open -1 down to a pick'em contest. Total open 141.5 down to 141 even. 64% are leaning Purdue in this matchup here. Now, if you like Purdue to get the job done, just keep in mind they're taking on a Maryland team who is 13-3 straight up at home, 4-3 against the spread when catching the points. The Terrapins also rank 17th in offensive rebounding, and they rank 7th in defensive rebounding. So very good team getting the boards on both sides of the ball. Purdue, on their side of things, failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4 as the official road underdog. They're also covering just 33% of their games after less than 4 days off. Now, when it comes to the total, Purdue is 80% of the over on the road, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. Meanwhile, Maryland is 4-1 to the over, taking on teams averaging more than 72 points per contest on their side of things. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the home team in this matchup here. Give me Maryland in the pick'em, winning this one outright. And the over 141 in that matchup there. All right, next game, LSU at Kentucky, 7 o'clock tip-off at Kentucky. The Wildcats are -9, totals 149. 51% of the consensus is leaning toward Kentucky. Now, the Wildcats have covered in their last 8 straight. Incredibly hot when it comes to the number. 8-0 against the spread in their last 8. They're also 8-1 against the spread, taking on teams over 650. The Wildcats rank 3rd in the nation in home defensive rebounding, and they're 3-0 against the spread in their couple of games at the current point spread. So once again, Kentucky ranks 3rd in home defensive rebounding, and they're 3-0 ATS in their games that tipped off at the current number. Now, the Tigers of LSU, completely different story on the other side. They failed to cover in their last 7 straight when taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. You heard that right. 0-7 ATS versus teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. The Tigers are also just 3-7 against the number after 4 or less days off. Now, when it comes to the total, the Tigers are 8-2 to the over in that same category. 8-2 to the over after 4 or less days off. They're also 86% to the over, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. The Wildcats of Kentucky, on the other side, they're scoring 81 points per contest on their home court. Give me Kentucky -9 in the over 149 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for our college slate. It is going to be Michigan State at Wisconsin, 7 o'clock Badgers. This one's a good old-fashioned pick-em contest as well. Got some competitive lines here on a Tuesday night. Total open 131 and a half down to 131 even. So once again, Sparty is a